Live, and we're doing this. I can't stay long because I have shit to do in the house. I'm the wrong way. Okay, I am the right way now. So we are doing this in my living room today because my parents are napping. So I can't do it in my room. I'm hoping maybe switching locations will cause more people to come over. So, excuse me, sorry, I have a Coke. I have a soda. So, if you're not familiar, what we do here every week is I go through all the shows that I'm watching during the season. But because I don't have that many shows left, and because most of the shows I'm watching are either crappy or on delay, I'm adding 3 new shows to the roster. And I'm gonna pick 3 shows probably that are connected by something similar. And in this case, it is the 3 shows made, or not the 3 shows, the 3 shows based on source material by Gakuto Mikimo, who is the writer of 3 shows which I didn't realize were the same person. And those are Strike the Blood, Dentalia no Shoka, and Asur Cryan. Asur Cryan is probably the worst of the 3. It just, the protagonist is really, 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 really bland. Like, he's so boring, and the idea is interesting. It's just, I feel like it was when Gakuno was just starting, and he didn't really have a lot of experience, so he kind of went the, protagonist is a nice person, and he's really, really calm, and really, he's basically every average cutesy protagonist ever, and he and his childhood friend, whose name I now can't remember because she's not really that much of a character, but they were in a plane crash, and he lived but she didn't, and she's now haunting him for some reason. I literally do not know why. They don't do anything with it. She's just kind of there in the background. She's not interesting. She just kind of sits there the whole time, and just I don't know if she's spouting exposition, but she's just making comments at him, and it's really weird. Like, you could do the whole show without her, and it would be have the same effect. So she's there, and she died in a plane crash, and one day someone from his family, I think it's his grandmother, I don't remember, but one of his family, he finds this box or this briefcase with this mech thing in it, and now a bunch of people want this mech thing. I don't know why. Like, there's this prince who is voiced by Shotaro Murakubo, who I normally really like, but he doesn't really have the same level of his ham. I guess I'm only 2 episodes in, so I don't really know that much about it, but like, he's there, and the student council president, and the typical Hime character, who doesn't have the laugh, which I'm really appreciative, because I freaking hate that laugh so much. I hate the laugh. The laugh is obnoxious. But she's there, and they're all like fighting over this box with this mech in it. And there's something special about this mech. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's just an average 2000Z anime. It's not terrible, but it's kind of meh. Dentalia no Shoka fares slightly better. It has better art. It has better character designs. and Huey has a little bit more of a personality, but so far the plots don't really make sense. Like, the idea is that he inherits this library, or he inherits this job from his grandfather, of being the key keeper, and he finds this girl in the library, and this girl, they fight, they go into people's dreams to find tomes, and Yakuto hasn't really done a good job of explaining this yet. I hope they do a better job in the future, but like in episode 1, everybody's been killed by something. I literally do not know what it was. In episode 2, the girl, she had this curse from her family where, like, every generation, her family are just natural born killers. Something to do with a golem. Like, and somehow that connects to a tome that makes a golem. I don't know. I guess the golem was there to protect him from her. I don't know. I legit do not know. The third one, Strike the Blood, is my favorite out of the 3. It reminds me a lot of Index. I love the protagonist. I love how he's not a moron. Like, his reactions to the more perverted scenes aren't as severe, because normally in these situations, if like, let's say the protagonist would find a girl outside his room and she's just wet, he'd just freak out and be like, oh my god, boobs, oh my god, he'd start freaking out because, oh my god, she's naked, oh my god, what do I do? But Kojo is just like, why are you here? What did you follow me? Like, did you hide in shower? So in episode 1, he pretends to be Italian, literally pretends to be Italian and tourist to get away from her, because he's so freaked out that this girl is following him around. And she is kind of a stalker, so she moves in next to him in episode 2, and he's like, wait, did you make yourself roommates just so you could watch me? She's like, yep. So he doesn't have the same level of Gurdam, and he thinks before he does things, which is so nice, and it's so refreshing, because I'm so used to protagonists being dipshits, and he's not. And no, and basically they're on an island where a bunch of supernatural stuff is going on. There's all kinds of creatures. There's vampires. There's mermaids. There's pretty much anything you can think of. I don't think the show has a mummy in it, but there's a homunculus. And they're all characters, and they're all treated like characters. And he, a little while before the beginning of the series, was prior to the series, was bitten, or not bitten, was given powers by another vampire. And he is now, I don't know what it means to be the 4th progenitor. I don't think they've explained what that means yet, but yeah, which I think it means he's like the most powerful vampire on the island, and he has to be watched by this girl. Actually, it's his friend, but who's a guy, but they have to watch him, and they have to make sure that he doesn't like go berserk or do anything stupid. And if he gets too powerful, if it gets out of control, they have to kill him. And they want to prevent this So it's him and his watchers and his friends dealing with this supernatural shit that's going on. And right now, they are dealing with somebody who is causing explosions. They are dealing with someone who's created a homunculus and is, for whatever reason, blowing up a bunch of important sites. I wanted to get to episode 4 before this happened because I'm trying to make this so that, you know, every week is the new arc. So like the first arc is 4 episodes, the second arc is 4 episodes. I'm trying to stretch it out so that we're not just having standalone episodes, we're having the full arc in one sitting, but I haven't gotten to episode 4 yet. So we're gonna see how they deal with this, and he ends up saving her, and inevitably he's gonna end up biting her because that's how it works. Also, there's a lowly teacher because this was made in the 2000s, and this like I said, this and Index are very, very, very similar in nature. I do really like this show. I liked Index. But the difference with this show is that it's a lot easier to follow, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna go like off the rails and have a bunch of different tangents. It feels like the show is much more condensed, and to understand what it's trying to do a little bit more. So those are the 3 new ones. I have my cup, and Ars no Kyojo. At this point, I'm just writing it out because the series has no plot. Now it has some plot because it's them like trying to stop this girl, these people from experimenting and making a weapon. I don't know why. I have absolutely no idea why. The show has done nothing to explain this. We're in episode 9. I don't know anything about what's going on. I know that the main character has some kind of like persona thing. I don't know. I think that's going to be the consensus for this week is I don't know, because a lot of these shows buddy daddies. So, where were we in Buddy Daddies? I actually think I'm going to stop covering this show. I love this show. Don't get me wrong. It's probably one of the best shows this season. But it's episodic in nature. We are getting some plot, though, now. Because Ray, his family dynamic reminds me a lot of Shugachara. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it actually really does. And that he is being forced to work for his father. Sound familiar? And his father is completely like an abusive piece of shit. Sound familiar? And his father is trying to force him to come back to the family. That's different, but trying to force him to come back to the family because his father wants him to continue working, and now they want the liaison to track down I don't remember his name now, but the main character, I don't know why I don't remember his name, but they want them to track him down, and they want him to find out information on him and Mary because they're going to use that to basically force Ray to come back to the family. And they send Ray on this mission to find this guy and force a shootout with him. So we're getting some plot, but mostly it's still like episodic fluffy in nature. And he's fluffy in nature, and it's mostly just cute. I don't know if I feel it's enough to cover but Hiraguru Sky Precure. So, this week we have the inevitable bonding episode where the main characters, where Sora, whose name I still think is way too on the nose and really stupid, but it's Precure, I'll let it go. she and she's been having nightmares that the pink one whose name I also don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. She's not good with she's been having nightmares that uh she will get hurt, and she decides that in order to do this she wants her to stop becoming, because last episode she finally turned into Pure Prism. Pure Prism. And she wants her to stop turning into Pure Prism, which I don't know. I kind of feel like that's not really her choice. Honey, she's old enough to decide that for herself. It's weird that I don't like the fact that you're taking that choice away from her. That's her decision. That's not your decision. And plus, you need her. You need all the cures you can get. Speaking of which, I am still waiting for the male precure. That's kind of the entire reason I watch this show, is because we're getting a male precure, and he's a Yumo, and I love him, and he's so cute. And I love him, and he's so cute, which means he's going to be adorable, because Yume was a little moe baby. But we also technically meet the villain, who we don't see, but it's a female, I think, and she chides the Kabuton, the hippo man, for not doing his job, and I have a bad feeling about that. People have speculated that it's Sora's childhood hero. I thought Sora's childhood hero was a guy, but maybe her childhood hero is a woman. So we will see about that. And also, I'm pretty sure that the other Precure besides Dainumo is going to be that girl that showed up, the pink one's friend, college-age friend. So not only we're getting a male Precure, we're also probably getting an adult Precure, which is interesting. Burger Stray Dogs. I will admit this season is a lot better than I thought it would be. So at this point, we get the girl whose name I also don't remember. Again, remember, I'm bad with names. We get her backstory, and basically this is really fucked up even for this show. She was forced to cure people so that they could keep fighting in the war. And can you imagine, like, being forced to use your powers to fix everyone? Like, can you just... I feel so sorry for her, especially considering that when she refuses to fix them, they just basically kill them. And they kill them in front of her, and she was a child. She was a child being forced to participate. It's so sad. It doesn't really apply to the plot, but it's interesting to know why she's hesitant to join Port Mafia, because Port Mafia has basically said, okay, we'll help you, but you have to send one of your people to work for us, which I think is really weird. Which is weird, because you would think that because of Akutagawa's connection, who we haven't seen in a while, I wonder where he is, but connection to Dazai, you'd think they'd just want to help him. But I guess he resents him because he left. I think the show did at one point say that he resents Dazai for leaving. But that's why she doesn't really want to join Port Mafia, because she's afraid they'll use her powers again. I suspect they're going to have the main character. They're going to send the main character, but that's just me. So it's basically just backstory this episode, and that's so sad. It's so sad. Next. I'm sorry I keep leaning. I'm looking to see how long I have High card. We are starting to get some plot in this right now. So, the main character finds out that his guardian might have lied about the circumstances of him. I think it's the circumstances of him being there. He ends up killing killing the marble guy, and he is obviously traumatized by this because it means that his home ends up burning down, and he was told by the person in charge to not come back. I guess probably because he doesn't want the drama, and he feels like Finn is a liability around those younger kids, which I understand, which I completely understand. So he's told not to come back, and he's depressed. They are sent to different locations because a lot of shit's starting to go down, and a lot of people with different playing cards are starting to pop up. And they go onto this train, and this nut guy. This is my favorite episode because this guy who can control metal is there, and he basically is threatening them. And he's like, hey, if you don't give me your card, my partner is gonna kill the train with a rock. I don't think that would actually work, because all that would happen is the train would stop, because the rock would dent the train. I'm not sure that it would actually cause the train to stop, but he threatens to end the other guy, whose name I don't remember, the one with the ability to heal himself, keeps trolling him, because he's like, wait, who are you? And he's like, I'm so-and-so. And he's like, oh, so you, oh. And he's like, oh, thank you for telling me you're a member of Clinic. And he's like, wait, I didn't mean to tell you that. And he's like, oh, crap, I didn't mean to tell you that my partner's a member of Clinic. And then he's like, oh, your partner, but wouldn't that mean you get hurt too? And he's like, oh, wait, okay. Because clearly he had not thought this through. He had not thought this through even slightly. So he just expected them to do what he said, and he keeps getting more and more erratic, and it's really funny. And he ends up sending Finn, the one who can shoot, into the river. And I really like the fact that despite I love shows where when shit hits the fan and you still see the peppy, happy ending song, like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, the last ending song. They're all bad things are happening. His father basically dies because, let's be honest, he's a serial killer. But it basically kills him. But and they have this epic battle, and the ending song is this peppy. I love the song, don't get me wrong. It's just really funny. It's this peppy, happy, epic music that doesn't fit the show even slightly. And it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny. And I guess next episode we're gonna see from the perspective of the other people, because they've been split up and up. So Misfit is on hiatus because fuck COVID, so that is on hiatus, which is part of why I've added 3 new shows. I don't know when that's coming back. Endo and Kobayashi Live is still very, very boring. And this week we barely get anything with the actual plot, and it's just them dicking around in the real world. So there's really nothing to go on. Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, I will admit that as much as it's boring, I do like, and I know this is kind of gonna surprise people because like he's a douchebag. I do like kind of her dynamic with Ernest because it just, she treats him like a bratty pest, and he's just there, and she's just kind of ignoring him, and she's just and they're just like, oh great, fuck, he's here. What is he doing? They treat him like a gnat, and it's really funny. I wish they'd do more of that because that's probably my favorite part of the show is that they just treat him like he's just there, and he's just like in their way, like, oh great, right? And they're entering, and now we have another, Keith is also we also have another character who's kind of a douche, and we meet this guy who allegedly is very, very sweet, but I'm kind of wary because every guy in the show has been seen to be a complete and total ass. So we're not. Oh, I am careful with these guys because every guy in the show has gone a complete ass fight except for Shell. Even the fairy, who I really don't like because he's extremely annoying, and very loud. So, except for Shell, and like the silver-haired guy who's also kind of hot. I wish they'd make it I wish they'd do more with the romance because they are cute together and they are very romantic together. And if you like took Keith and the pink one, the silver guy, and you made them all like her, you kind of get a romance because they're all very nice looking, very, very attractive, and allegedly they're all very sweet. So and he's being, I just wish they'd do more with their dynamic. That's the only thing about this show I like. And I don't know why I don't have Kinda in my bucket right now, because I should have it in my bucket. But they're lost at sea now. That's pretty much it, as far as I remember. I may be wrong, maybe I might have to add more shows to this because I also need more, because I thought this was going to be longer, but no, it's still like 30 minutes, and I wanted to try and get it longer than 30 minutes. So they're basically lost at sea. And that is it for this week. Again, sorry it's so short. I'm trying to figure out ways to extend it, but right now it is very short. Oh yeah, I am also going to be watching a couple of tokusatsu shows. Not part of this live stream, but in general, I'm going to be watching a couple of tokusatsu shows. So you guys can enjoy that. And that is it for this week. Again, I also hope to at least at some point get more people to engage, because I feel like if y'all start engaging, I'm not blaming you, but I feel like if y'all start engaging in this, then at the very least we can get people talking, and that way I can lengthen this out a little bit, because I'm genuinely trying to get this more to like 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't have anything else to, actually no, it's almost it's almost 30 minutes, so there we go. There we go.